Tonight, an emphasis on education. That was the message today from Minnesota's governor as he visited Duluth. Plus, a new option for housing has popped up in the city, but some locals fear it doesn't address the lack of affordability. But first, protesters have gathered outside a meeting in a Duluth neighborhood tonight, saying the group's messaging is based on false information.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. A controversial event criticizing Minnesota schools is making a stop in Duluth right now. This comes after 4 different Duluth area venues canceled on them in recent weeks. Tonight, the event is being held in a public park building operated by the city. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo joins us live from Park Point, where protesters have gathered outside the Lafayette Park Community Center, where that event is being held. Kendall, why are people upset with the city for hosting this group?
Kristen, the Raise Our Standards tour is put on by the American Experiment. It's a conservative group who aims to bring awareness to what they say on their website is leftist and anti-American agenda in Minnesota's public schools. There's about 50 protesters gathered behind me at this event outside. They're saying that this event is dangerous because it spreads misinformation. The Raise Our Standards tour focuses on racism and related issues being taught in social studies classes. They say critical race theory is harming children. The theory looks at social, cultural, and legal issues and how they relate to race. Organizers say they plan to teach attendees how to push back against what they say is too much politics in schools. The event was supposed to be held at 4 different venues, but all canceled. Some reported getting negative feedback from the public. Now the group has rented a space in the city's Lafayette Park Community Center at Park Point, and the event started around 5:30 tonight. I went inside and there's about 30 people gathered in there to hear the speakers. We will hear from both sides tonight at 10 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Kendall. Looking forward to that. City leaders say they have received negative feedback from community members about hosting this event in a city-operated space. In a statement, Mayor Emily Larson said the American Experiment has a legal right to use the public space, and the group met the city's requirements to rent it out. She said it's the city's job to protect free speech, even when it conflicts with personal views. The pandemic hit Minnesota's education system hard. Now, Governor Tim Walz visited Duluth, sharing how the state's newly passed budget hopes to help us here in the Northland. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with Walz and local school leaders about how they plan to use the money.
Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan went back to class Tuesday morning.
Start the thing.
Yeah, when they say...
Seeing the joy on those students, listening and seeing the plans.
The state leaders visited Duluth's Denfeld High School to discuss the $1.2 billion education budget with students and staff. The newly passed budget is part of the state's COVID recovery plan.
Are really critical to making sure that we are investing in our young people, but that also, we are catching up, but laying a solid foundation for the rest of their lives.
In Duluth, that funding will help in a variety of areas for the upcoming school year and years to come.
Has gone towards extra social emotional learning supports and counseling supports for our students with their mental health needs.
The funding has allowed the district to provide transportation to summer programming this year. That's helping more than 320 students get extra support, double a usual summer.
Good. There you go. Good. There you go.
Wanted to make sure it was customized for the individual students, for the families, and for the schools themselves.
To get kids back to the books and build back education.
The funding will be distributed to school districts through a formula and through grant opportunities. The department has also put $1.5 million toward Minnesota Boys and Girls Clubs. Plans to demolish an old school building on the Iron Range are moving forward. Last night, the Rockridge School Board said no to a buyer who wanted to purchase the old Eveleth Junior High School and Manual Arts building. While the superintendent didn't say who made the offer, he said the board turned it down because the buyer didn't have proof of funding and the offer came in last minute without some information the board wanted. The school district has not used the building in 35 years. A daycare operated there until 2014. Demolition on the old junior high could start as soon as next week, with the Manual Arts building torn down shortly after. Half of the businesses affected in an Iron Range fire are up and running again, while the others are still searching for answers. The fire happened Friday on Chestnut Street in downtown Virginia. Strellman's Jewelry, Rock's Jewelers, and Pep's Bakery all have substantial fire, smoke, and water-related damage. Virginia Fire Chief Alan Lewis says Strellman's roof collapsed in the fire. No property damage estimate has been made at this time, and the cause of the fire has not yet been determined. Meanwhile, the biggest fire burning in the BWCA grew slightly as crews struggled to reach it. The Delta Lake fire spread 3 acres and is now burning 65 acres. According to the Forest Service, it's in an area with dense blowdown damage, which is why firefighters have been having a tough time getting access. They worked on building a containment line today. They're also using air support to keep the fire in check, but as of now, it is 0% contained. The 3 other fires burning in the BWCA, the Hassel, Pickett's Lake, and Astry fires, are all now listed as contained. Crews are continuing to monitor them. Well, Dave, 4 wildfires just in the Boundary Waters alone. Crews are certainly busy with these dry conditions. I'm hoping some relief is in sight for them.
Yeah, hats off to those folks who worked in heat, dry conditions, and dangerous conditions when those fires really start to rage. But our northern Minnesota fires right now are just child's play compared to the ones going on in Canada. That's where the bulk of that haze is coming from and could stay with us all the way through Friday. Weather Service has an alert in effect for Minnesotans from now until then. But what we need to focus on for the moment, frankly, is a chance for rain. We need rain to solve this problem, and I don't think we're going to get exactly what we need, but it's better than nothing. So on that note, we're looking at a live shot of Ashland, Wisconsin, where some thunderstorms have been rumbling in the past couple of hours, but we see they're not affecting Ashland at the moment. A 30 to 40% chance that they will, though, as we go through tonight and tomorrow from twin low-pressure systems and an interconnecting frontal boundary here. The best chance we have, frankly, until Thursday when it starts to dry up again, and we could stay dry for really quite a while. Our short-term forecast tells us that Tuesday night, 30% chance for rain in your part of the country, in case you haven't seen it yet, and odds are you haven't. Low temps will be in the upper 50s for most towns. Then tomorrow, with thicker cloud cover coming in, a bit of the haze from the fires and a bit of cloud cover from the lows, well, we cool down a bit, about 75 to 80 for the high temps. We got into the upper 80s today. 40% chance for the thunder on Wednesday, just a 20% shot for a little follow-up action Thursday. Then after that, high and dry and warm for the weekend. How high will we get? Pretty toasty. And I'll show you the 7-day forecast to prove it in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. Douglas County officials have identified the man who died during what authorities called a work-related accident. 47-year-old Robert Brown died Sunday morning at the county's government services building in Superior. He was a maintenance worker. According to the fire department's report, Brown was found in a metal grate ceiling about 30 feet off the ground. Fire officials say he was most likely electrocuted. The county wouldn't say yet what job duties Brown was performing at the time. The Douglas County Sheriff's Department and the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services are both investigating. We're learning new details about what started a house fire in Ashland and how 3 people died inside. On the morning of July 5th, 36-year-old Jordan Chowning, 14-year-old Alyssa Chowning, and 17-year-old Michelle Hathaway all died in the fire. Today, officials said autopsy results showed they all died from smoke inhalation. The Ashland Fire Department also said today early reports show the fire likely started accidentally by a young child in the home. Now, they're still waiting to determine an official cause, and authorities did not share more about how exactly the child started that fire. 3 other people did make it out of the home safely. Funerals are set for later this week. The Minnesota judge who sentenced Derek Chauvin to prison is denying the latest request from prosecutors. Attorney General Keith Ellison asked Judge Peter Cahill to remove suggestions the 4 young witnesses who saw George Floyd's death were not traumatized. Cahill said in an order today the 4 girls may have been emotionally traumatized, but the state did not prove it. Ellison's office said it's reviewing the judge's order. Cahill sentenced Chauvin last month to 22.5 years in prison. Here is a live look at Duluth's Civic Center tonight near City Hall. As you may know, the area is home to a couple government buildings, each with its own historical significance. One of them is the old St. Louis courthouse. The nearly century-old building was decommissioned more than 25 years ago, and it was vacant until 2010 when a private group bought it. Now that group plans to renovate and transform the building. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham joins us now to explain what's next for the historic jail. Quinn.
That's right, a project that would convert the jailhouse into an apartment complex is entering its final stages. The former jail is currently owned by a group called New Burnham LLC. They're working with the city to secure funding for the project, which city leaders tell us is estimated to cost about $8.5 million. Last week, the city council approved more than $1 million in tax increment financing, or TIF, for the building. A TIF district helps pay for some of the costs of a project like this by reallocating tax money generated by a development. In addition to TIF, the project is hoping to receive money from the state's historic tax credit, which allows sites like the jailhouse to receive funding based on their historic status. Senior housing developer Jason Hale says the funding is absolutely necessary for the project to move forward.
So that's one of the reasons we're really advocating and trying to push this forward, is because we recognize that, but for the TIF and but for the tax credits, the project would never happen.
Says in order to use the historic tax credit, the project needs to be completed by the end of 2022. If all goes according to plan, work will start on this building in the fall. Crews anticipate being able to work through the winter since the interior of the building is really the only part that needs major renovations. We also reached out to the developer, but we did not hear back by noontime.
All right, thank you, Quinn. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, this summer has been unseasonably dry in the Northland, and the heat is not only impacting plants, but also local business. We'll tell you all about it next.
Today's normal is 78. Today we achieved 87 at the airport in Duluth, but the record high is 106 from that 2-week warm spell in 1936. We'll be going towards 90 for the weekend, and I'll talk about when that'll happen and how much chances for rain we get in between coming up after our break.
Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel, weekday mornings on CBS.
For 6 days only, Home Furniture has put everything on sale, and you can finance for 6 years with no money down and no minimum purchase. 6 days of savings, 6 years special financing. The 646 sale, only at Home Furniture.
Update your doors with our great selection of quick set lock sets and deadbolts. Whether you're adding security to an exterior door or simply updating a new lever, you'll save with 11% off on all of our quick set products. Let fresh air in while keeping bugs out with a replacement screen from Menards. Pet-resistant screening is durable and easy to install. Get 11% off all replacement screens. Save on everything to update your home now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries including wrongful death, medical malpractice, and nursing home neglect. Call anytime, 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Bolins.
And I'm Ann Nolette.
And we're Advanced Surgical Associates of Northern Minnesota.
Our goal has always been to provide the latest and best surgical techniques to you and your family.
We want to provide an alternative to the traditional surgical practices that the hospitals offer.
With robotic-assisted surgery, you're likely to have a shorter hospital stay, experience less pain, and recover quicker.
We serve Duluth, Ely, Hibbing, and the surrounding areas. Learn more at mnsurgery.com or give us a call today.
We have a structure fire with injuries on Highway 13.
Did you know your friends and neighbors volunteer to provide emergency services? They are serving many communities and need your help. Challenge yourself. Be part of the team. Be somebody.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask J3 Insurance in Duluth if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Right now at Home Seasonal Concepts, get special 6-year financing with no money down, no minimum purchase on the largest selection of outdoor furnishings, like this Loft 21 5-piece dining set for just $13.99. 6 years special financing now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
It's been a long year.
I've been by myself for the past 8 months.
I mean, I date myself at this point.
Let's just say the new group of Love Islanders is ready.
I haven't been touched in so long.
I'm ready to meet the girl in my dreams. Really?
I need love.
ready.
Unleash the beast, baby.
I figured I'd come out of my shell a little bit and try something new.
Hello, summer.
Party's here.
Get to know all the Islanders' new Love Island tonight, 9/8 Central on CBS.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app. CBS3 weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Let's first talk about the air quality alert that's covering most of Minnesota here. Of course, the culprit is those Canadian wildland fires up north, with a little bit of aggravation coming in from the Boundary Waters blazes going on, working through much of the Arrowhead here, but so far leaving Wisconsin and Michigan all right. But bottom line is this air quality alert is going to stay in effect for Minnesotans probably through Friday, and there may be a chance it'll be extended into the weekend, because to put down the problem, we either need to put down those fires or get some good soaking rain to clear the sky. And we only have iffy chances for rain here over the next 24 to 36 hours, maybe 48 if we push it. I'll show you the odds for a rainy payoff coming up in just a bit, but we'll, of course, as usual, cast our gaze first at the current conditions coming in from Duluth International, where it's 84 degrees, the relative humidity 41%, northwest wind 8 miles per hour, 29.93 inches of mercury is the barometric pressure, 1,013 millibars, and that's right on that textbook border between really high and really low, leaning towards the lower side because we do have two troughs of lower pressure working through the area, and that's where our tenuous rain chance tonight through early Thursday comes from. Current temperatures 76 to 80 in the Upper Peninsula. Wisconsin, Michigan numbers are running from 75 to 83, even 84 in Superior. Cooler where there's cloud cover from thunderstorms popping up, and warmer where the sun has reappeared. In Minnesota, it's a similar story. Upper 60s by the lake near Grand Marais, and as warm as 82 right now for Hibbing and Cloquet, 84 Moose Lake, and 83 Grand Rapids. Getting into the Doppler map, we see the showers and thunderstorms for parts of Wisconsin still rumbling as a cold front works through the area. And it's really not a powerful cold front because it's not taking our temperatures down too greatly. Just keep in mind that these two lows bring 30 to 50% chances for showers and thunderstorms through early Thursday here in our region. By Thursday afternoon, a new high makes it dry again, dry and warm for an extended period, maybe the entire next week ahead. So we need rain, and this is how much we may get. Frankly, it is not that much. Through about noon on Thursday, Minnesotans may only get a trace. Much of northern Wisconsin might pull a quarter of an inch. A stripe from Spooner to Hayward to Ironwood may go towards a half of an inch. And down around Watersmeet, its charts still indicate maybe 2 inches possible there. So a wide variety and a wide discrepancy of rain totals from these systems. Tonight in Minnesota, 30% storm chance. Low temps in the 50s for general. And in general, 56 to 58 for Wisconsin. We all get about a 30% chance for precip. Tomorrow, it's a 40 to 50% chance for precip. High 76 to 81 Wisconsin. 80 inland in Minnesota. Low 70s by the lake. And with the extended forecast here, once the rain chance goes away Thursday, it dries up and warms up from Friday through Tuesday. How warm? I think 90 even here in Duluth by Monday. Upper 80s Sunday and Tuesday. Toasty and sunny. Pleasant on one hand, but not good for the fire danger on the other.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, summer's dry conditions mean grass is growing slowly, and one company is feeling the impact. Core Advantage Landscaping says just like the grass, their business isn't growing either. The dry conditions have dried up demand, and company spokespeople say they depend on rain for revenue.
We need the rain. We need the rain for that granular fertilizer to help the grass grow and to green up. And without rain, we're at a standstill.
Reps from Core Advantage say to keep your lawn green during this dry spell, water your lawn either early in the morning or late at night. CBS3Duluth.com has more information on how to maintain your lawn. All right, Kelly, what's going on in sports today?
Well, we'll have plenty more on that bombshell news that dropped from Minnesota Wild today. Why the club is parting ways with two of its most beloved names. It's coming up next in sports.
Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
What does home mean to you? From graduation to the new job to sharing a life with someone else. As you change, so does your idea of home. Visit yournorthlandhome.com for comprehensive information on buying and selling your home with JS Realty, including mistakes buyers make and preparing your home to sell. Yournorthlandhome.com has the information you need to find a place that feels like home. Download your free guide today at yournorthlandhome.com.
I'm Dr. Jody Smith. I'm a family practice doctor at St. Luke's. Working full-time and a family and other pressures on your life, it can be hard to find that time to spend on yourself. You don't have to make dramatic changes in your life overnight. Pick a couple things. You can work on making some of the other changes along the way. Everybody has their own experiences, their own perspectives, their own challenges in life. I love hearing about it. You develop that human connection.
Black Bear Casino Resort invites you to join us for our anniversary weekend celebration. We start the weekend Friday night, August 13th, with legendary comedian Gabriel Iglesias and the Beyond the Fluffy World Tour Go Big or Go Home in the Otter Creek Event Center. Then the Bear heads outdoors Saturday, August 14th with Tantric, Trapped, Hinder, and Scott Stapp, the voice of Creed. For more information and to get your tickets, go to blackbearcasinoresort.com. Make the Bear your place for a weekend anniversary celebration.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kind of got a sixth sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Pay no interest for 72 months, plus current eligible Buick owners get $500 purchase allowance on most 2021 Buick SUV models.
As an Appleton pediatrician, I'm not just treating patients, I'm taking care of my neighbors. So when you ask me, as a Wisconsin pediatrician, do I trust the COVID-19 vaccine? My answer is yes. Ask your child's doctor what they think.
My wife and I were thinking about maybe having another kid.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about infertility or a birth defect.
Social media got a hold of a theory that is not true, that there could be some problems with placental development and miscarriages would result. But it turns out that miscarriages did not happen at an increased rate with the people who've been vaccinated, and that was initially with the study group and with the people that have since received the vaccine. So there's really no truth to these fertility concerns.
Welcome to the Kelly Clarkson Show! This show is about connection. Not even 2020 and socially distancing ourselves are going to get in the way of that.
Are we 6 feet apart? The Kelly Clarkson Show on CBS3.
Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel. Weekday mornings on CBS.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Minnesota Wild General Manager Bill Guerin is determined to bring a Stanley Cup to the state of Minnesota, whatever it takes. Today's bombshell decision to part ways with two of its biggest fan favorites, its longest tenured veterans, truly points to that. The Wild announced earlier today that the team is buying out the remaining contracts of defenseman Ryan Suter and forward Zach Parise. The Wild will pay each of the 36-year-olds $6.7 million over the next 8 years. Each signed a 13-year, $98 million contract with a $7.54 million average annual value back on July 4th, 2012. They are free agents starting on July 28th. It will certainly be a situation of fan favorites leaving the state of hockey, but Guerin assured this is the best decision for the club moving forward if they are going to continue to contend.
You know, we have to keep moving forward. These are, like I said, these are two guys that gave their heart and soul to this organization, but we have to make tough decisions and keep trying to turn the page, keep trying to get better and reach our ultimate goal and long-term goal of winning a Stanley Cup.
So what this deal really does is clear up cap space for the Wild over the next few years, making way for contracts for present and future stars such as Kirill Kaprizov. The Wild will have to pay out the remainder of the 4 years remaining on Parise and Suter's contracts, meaning this decision was not a spur-of-the-moment one.
I didn't just wake up this morning and try to decide to do it. It's been a process, probably about 6 or 8 months, and there's been a lot of discussions, a lot of conversations over it, and you know, we know how much they've meant to this team and to the city. So, like I said, these are not great choices to make. These are not great decisions to make, but you have to make them, and you stand by it.
In 9 seasons during the Parisi Suter era, the Wild reached the postseason 8 times, but they never advanced beyond the second round. Now, Suter told several media outlets in the Twin Cities he was shocked when he got the call this morning from Guerin and Craig Leopold. He said when he signed he committed to play the rest of his career with the Wild. He would hoping to help them win a cup. He knows he can still play and knows he will have choices. Well, the Stars are out tonight in Denver as the MLB's best players gather for the 91st All-Star Game. Here's your selections for the Brewers and Twins: Nelson Cruz, Omar Narvaez, Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, and Josh Hader. And Taylor Rogers was also named to an All-Star last night to replace Yusei Kikuchi. That's tonight. We'll have highlights tonight at 10. And a former Husky is hitting the big leagues after being drafted by Major League Baseball. Nick Kent is heading to the Mile High City after being drafted in the 11th round as the 320th overall pick in the MLB draft. The Charlottesville, Virginia native played for the Huskies in 2019, where he hit .373 and stole 26 bases over 41 games. The infielder is currently a junior at the University of Virginia. He will be trading in his navy and orange for the Rockies, purple and black. So going back to that first story, Bill Guerin is here to win, folks. And he's going to do whatever it takes to get them to win. And it makes sense. I mean, the Wild have always been a pretty good postseason team, but we don't see anything past the second round. We don't see the Western Conference Finals. And you know what? Fans are sick of that. Fans are sick of, you know, we got these young stars coming in and they want to out with the old and in with the new. So,
and change is always hard, but that doesn't mean it's not a good thing. So we'll see what happens. Thanks, Kelly. Tonight is the night a Hibbing Police K-9 and his handler make their national television debut. The second season of America's Top Dog continues tonight. And this episode will feature 4-year-old K-9 Chase and his handler, Officer Joey Burns. The two will try to conquer the obstacle course, hoping to move on and compete for a $10,000 prize. Tonight's episode begins at 7 p.m. on the A&E network. And of course, K-9 Chase works for the Hibbing Police Department. So if you live near the city, you can swing by tonight's viewing party at the Memorial Building. Doors open at 6 p.m. and you can bring the family down to the free event and see K-9 Chase in person. Once again, that show starts at 7 o'clock tonight. Best of luck to them. And Dave, best of luck to us for some rain.
Yeah, we're trying to chase down some rain. It's been hit or miss, frankly, in Minnesota. Now there have been a few cells rumbling through Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula, and this rain chance could continue through Thursday, 30 to 50% chances at best. Most places won't get much at all if it does pay off, and then it dries up Friday and warms up, topping on around 90, even here in Duluth and Superior by Monday.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.